Meta Platforms, formerly known as Facebook, just had one of its greatest days ever. The stock price was up over 23% after the company reported earnings. Some investors, though, might be wondering, is this it for this kind of social giant, or can the stock price go even higher? I believe for long-term investors, the answer is yes, if Meta can fix these three problems. Let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
All right, let's take a quick look at price action. Like I mentioned, 23% in one day after the company reported earnings. Year to date, the stock is up over 51%. Right now, it is up over 100% from its 52-week low. Unfortunately, it's still down 20% from its 52-week high. And if we take a look, it is down 50% from its all-time highs, which were in September of 2021. So a lot of price action, right? It all depends on where you purchase. If you purchased at the bottom, you're super excited right now. If you even purchased at the beginning of this year, you're super happy. If you purchased in 2021, maybe you're still feeling a little bit of the pain at the moment. So like I mentioned, I do believe there's three things that Meta can do to kind of go even higher. So the first thing I think Meta can do is improve its Reels monetization. For those that are not familiar, Reels is the short-term content that Facebook or Meta is using to combat TikTok. We're seeing it with Google and YouTube using YouTube Shorts. But unfortunately, this kind of content hasn't really monetized that well at the moment. Here we can see this quote from Mark Zuckerberg in their most recent earnings call. Currently, the monetization efficiency of Reels is much less than Feed. So the more that Reel grows, even though it adds engagement to the system overall, it takes some time away from Feed and they actually lose money. So if Meta is able to fix this, they're not only going to, one, get more engagement, but two, be able to make money. But at the moment, they have to choose one, and they'll rather grow that engagement, gain that market share again from TikTok. And unfortunately, in the short term, though, be losing money. I think this is a smart play. I think if you want to get market share, sometimes you have to lose some or give something up, and Meta is giving up some money at the moment. But this is great. The number of people daily using Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp is its highest it's ever been. So if Meta can improve this Reels monetization, and they are seeing this growth in engagement, they are seeing this growth in users, this can definitely be a huge driving force for the overall company's revenue. They do mention that a good portion of this growth is possible due to their artificial intelligence improving recommender system. And this is something that has changed thanks to TikTok. Before, if you were on Facebook or if you were on Instagram, you would mainly just get recommended things that of people you follow. Now, the way things are changing, they're using AI to not only recommend things that you follow, but also things you might enjoy that might not be something you follow at the moment. So this kind of overall is increasing engagement thanks to their investment in artificial intelligence. The company did share some timelines. They do believe that Reels should no longer be a revenue headwind by early next year. So I think that's a great time to kind of see how this kind of monetizes over time. Here in the right, I have a few pictures of how Reels is being monetized at the moment. It's pretty much just overlay ads, nothing too crazy. And something like this goes pretty quickly. So obviously it's going to be a lot cheaper than having an actual ad in their feed platform, which probably costs a lot more money. If you are enjoying the episode so far and you want to support the channel, there's two ways you can do it. First, you can sign up to the Motley Fool using my code at fool.com/Jose. Finally, you can check out the Semiconductor Investing and More podcast. It's my other YouTube channel, the number one semiconductor podcast, in my opinion, in the world. The link should be down below or up above if you want to just click straight to it. Make sure to subscribe. All right, so the second thing that I believe Meta can do to kind of grow even better is monetize their artificial intelligence generative art. So we've seen this a lot right now with OpenAI ChatGPT, right? This is something that's going crazy. And for those that are not familiar, Meta is a huge engineering company. They're a huge tech company, and they have done some kind of platforms like this. Unfortunately, and I'm going to mention in a bit, they haven't really released it to the public. They have, for example, what is called Make a Video, and this is an AI system that generates video from text. Here we can see an example on their website, a teddy bear painting a portrait, and this is the result the Meta AI kind of gives to you. They also have Make a Scene, which is a text prompt image maker. So you just, hey, draw me a picture of a spacecraft or of a horse, whatever, do it for me. So there are many platforms that do that right now. We know DALL-E, and then there was another one, Midjourney, that are happening right now. But unfortunately, stuff like this is expensive to run, especially if you're someone like Meta who has billions and billions of users. So they have to find a way to monetize this correctly, because if they do this wrong, one, they can lose a lot of money, or two, they can kind of push away their users. So this is something that they already have, but they are kind of holding on to right now to see how they're going to properly monetize it. Again, here we can see a quote from Mark Zuckerberg during their most recent earnings call. So one of the big interesting challenges here also is going to be, how do we scale this and make this work more efficiency so that way we can bring it at a much larger user base. They did mention that in the upcoming months, they will share more of how they're going to be able to bring AI generative to their consumer users. And they kind of hinted us in previous earnings calls on ways that this can help, right? If we take a closer look, what is Meta Platforms? This is a huge advertisement platform. They make money through ads. So one way is they can help advertisers make more attractive ads with these generative artificial intelligence art, videos, or whatever, which can help with better conversion. With better conversions, obviously you're going to see those kind of percentage go up, and people are going to be like, hey, I can do a lot better if I use Meta Platforms and advertise there opposed to its competitors, because I can make a lot better ads using their platforms. So again, I do believe this is a huge growth opportunity that's not being talked about at the moment. And if they do monetize it, it can definitely be a huge driving force for Meta stock price. Now, the third reason I want to say, it's unfortunately something Meta can't solve, but I think it's all going to happen around the same time. The macroeconomics improving. Meta can't solve this, like I mentioned, but this will be a huge driving force for the company's revenue. During the earnings call, they do mention that revenue remains under pressure from weak advertising demand, which they believe continues to be an impact by the uncertain and volatile macroeconomic landscape. And this is what I find super interesting, and actually I want to give some props to Meta. Quarter 4 of 2021, they had about $32 billion in ad revenue. This quarter was down a bit, single digits. It was roughly $31.3 billion. And that's with all these headwinds, right? So in my opinion, I think it's impressive that Meta is still able to hold out a nice amount of revenue, even with all this pressure. The other kind of significant headwind that these companies are seeing are foreign currency exchange rates at the moment. Again, nothing that Meta itself can solve, but if these two issues are kind of flipping around, it can definitely be a huge driving force for Meta's economics, for Meta's revenue, their earnings, their cash flow, and at the end of the day, could be a nice driving force for the overall stock. So let me know in the comments below, what are some other ways Meta stock price can continue to go higher? I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.